where the transitional talks are expected to continue today, and he joins us live there with an update. Sipho, a very good morning to you. What is the latest there? We're hearing, of course, ANC national spokesperson Mahlambandlovu saying that the media now must give the party time to deal with this issue. What are, of course, the sentiments on the ground where you are?
Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers. And in fact, while some may say that while the ANC has been given a lot of time in handling this transition, you would remember that, of course, over the course of the week, there's been a lot of events taking place in Cape Town, where the State of the Nation address was postponed, and of course we know that the subsequent special NEC meeting that was called there was postponed, and all of this of course has put the country on edge as talks between Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the ANC President, is engaging the state president, that is Jacob Zuma, on terms of his possible exit. Some are saying it will come in the next few days, but that's been the narrative for quite a number of days right now. And opposition parties, of course, now are piling on the pressure, saying that the ANC, by the end of this weekend, needs to come to a decision. Otherwise, they're going to take the matter back to Parliament. And I think the country at large, you look at social media, there is a lot of pressure that, we need a decision. And right now, as things stand, the country is in a political limbo, some are saying. But of course, we do understand that the Deputy President of the country, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, will be meeting with President Zuma here in Pretoria at the presidential house here. And of course, the media is camping outside. And I do have with me here Alex Mitchley from News 24, who's been following this up. Alex, it's been going on for quite some time. What do you think this does in terms of how President Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of the ANC, is perceived the longer this goes on?
Well, I think the general consensus is that the longer this goes on, it would appear that Cyril does lose power and seems weakened, because being the ANC president, he needs to be in charge now, and they need to look out for the 2019 election. So what he really needs to do, or wants to do, is to try and make this transition quick and painless, but that hasn't been the case.
All right, and of course we know that when he won in Nasrec, he didn't, get an overwhelming, a victory there, slide. That he still has to navigate the waters within ANC, where President Zuma still enjoys a lot of support, but also you have this pressure from the country, from opposition parties. So how does he manage that? Is it a sticky situation for the ANC President, Cyril Ramaphosa?
It will definitely be a sticky situation. If you have to look at it, essentially, ANC have been arguing that there can't be two centers of power. That being said, there is no individual leading the organization. So Ramaphosa will definitely have to meet with the top six, with the rest of the top six, and decisions will have to be taken among the top six. So I do think it's a difficult transition, because there obviously are people inside the ANC that are still very much pro-Zuma.
All right, and now let's talk about the president, who's seemingly resisting stepping down. There's been so many calls coming from the veterans, the alliance partners, telling the president to step down. We know the top six on Sunday was here, where he seems to have resisted. Just talk to us about the president's resistance so far.
Look, I think Zuma has a history of being resistant. If you have to look at the several court applications that have come against him, if you have to look at the charges, historically he's been a very difficult man when it comes to leaving power. Obviously, he knows he still enjoys a considerable amount of support in the ANC, and I suppose if he is going to leave, it's most definitely going to be in his terms and no one else's.
All right, and now let's talk about the legal issues. We know that the reports came out that part of the talks is that he wants his future legal fees taken care of. And also the reports came that Cyril Ramaphosa made it clear that there will be no legal immunity for President Zuma. What is the significance of Cyril Ramaphosa announcing that there is no legal immunity considered?
Well, I think Ramaphosa has built kind of his name as the moral high ground, a man of the Constitution, a man of the law. So I don't think he can afford to take such a stance as to see that Zuma's legal fees are covered, or to try to give him some sort of immunity, which is not in the confines of the law. Zuma cannot be given immunity. Perhaps once convicted, if he faces the charges, then he could be granted amnesty dynasty. But I doubt Cyril would want to do that as well, because that would tarnish his reputation as a man that takes the moral high ground, the man that, values and enshrines the Constitution.
All right. Well, that's Alex Mishley from News 24, just talking to us about the situation here as we continue, to wait for developments in this transition talk that has been described as, a progressive and fruitful between ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and the head of the state, President Jacob Zuma. We are just standing outside here and obviously waiting for any sort of movement. And as soon as we see, your presidential motorcade here coming through, we will bring all of that live for you on 404. It's now back to you, Alicia.
Thank you so much to our reporter there, Sipho Stuurman, and he was live to us from right outside the presidential guest house, Mahlambandlovu.